Thank you for tuning in with Enchantress. That is me, TheBabbler. That is me on this evolutionary high of an uprise at this time. Throat chakra cleanse in full effect. Even while I travel through rush hour traffic from one destination to another, aligning with my inner truth, right? That has to operate on this 3D earthly plane of perceived existence. And so the journey that has, since I can remember, I've always been conscious in this lifetime, in this realm, as this character that I'm playing, this role that I am now for once actively participating in this vessel, fully awakened and conscious of every fudging thing that occurs around within my perceived earthly multidimensional existence. I pressed record without really having a clue of how any of this is going to channel through me. I know myself as the babbler because in all my quirky, nervous eccentricities, I talk really fast because there's just so much filtering through that the energy that is I, that navigates on these lands, has always been uncomfortable in slowing down her speech, because that would require she to remain present. We are more than one sign, and if you're not hip to this knowledge of facts for this 3D realm, there's nothing that can shake my opinion in that nature. For we have to make use of this that already exists, that does influence our lives. So whether you believe in astrology or not, it is a conditioning in this world that exists. And it's strong. And it's very informative. And it holds no freaking legion to anything. It just is, because it has been created, and so therefore it exists, and it has existed longer than you and I know in this vessel existence to be. So for any of us to sit here ignorant of something and everything that already exists, when we get here, when you are born, everything is already made for you. come here on a blank canvas, although metaphorically you are a blank canvas. But you didn't come here on a blank canvas, woke to that blank canvas as a baby, just all of a sudden out of thin air, appearing out of thin air, sitting on top of your blank canvas, and it's like, okay, I'm going to create a universe, I'm going to create an earth, I'm going to create a world for me to grow up on. No, when you came into this world, you came in, I don't want to use this word, but this is a word that I'm going to use so that you can really get the grasp of the imagery of what has occurred, but you don't have to perceive it that way. But it's just an identification of just kind of like how it can be perceived, that has been cycled for who knows how long. I don't care about no motherfudging history telling me about history based off of their theories, experiments, and excavations, and freaking and anything that they think to understand at this level in time. Because even those that are most informed in this world and believe that there are people that know way more due to their conditioning of maybe possibly privilege or ancestry on a 3D realm. Because let me make something clear. You may appear in this realm having this experience with trackable DNA that can tell you your human ancestry. But that don't mean it's yours. Although it very well can be. I'm not saying So in other words, you may come from a privileged, let's say, upbringing, as opposed to somebody who has not, because this is the war, right? Meanwhile, this here is the illusion, the vessel that we are coming here on and occupying for whatever reason on land that has already been created. So whether it's just like positive and negative, like how simplified can this explanation be for anyone that just wants to see? Positive and negative exist always. Always. Whether you're positive or not, positivity is already created. It is an energy that is already existing. It has its own vortex of thingies that frequency and vibrate and influence anything and everything that allows, keyword here, its influence. And it takes awareness, consciousness, woke, to decipher this for yourself. And if you are not, connecting these dots and paying attention, yeah, it sounds daunting. It sounds, oh my goodness. Do you know how much you can do you know how many things I'm doing right now while I'm recording? Dude, I see everything. And I know that people speak about themselves being excellent drivers and all this. I feel like the freaking Cullens in the Twilight movies, that I see everything, even when I'm moving like this, that I don't even need hands. But we're conditioned to drive safe. I can close my eyes and still see. Okay, there's so many things. I'm right now traveling. We travel in so many ways. There are so many things happening right now that is occurring beneath the surface, that if you're part of the population of what I call mundanes that ignore that rumbling, ignore that otherworldly existence, I don't got time for those people. Yes, I have to be civil, for I am a civilized nation within my unification. And so I get it. That in itself I had to break down, because for me I was like, well, that's me conforming. But no, it's not. That was ego. And ego should never be slashed. It's a part of our lands. Like, how can we rip apart something that we labeled and gave it a name to identify it, to better understand it, now because it can lead and influence to other things? We want to freaking slash it down to size. How about the communion that's happening within you inside that has to harmonize and alchemize that within yourself? But no, even when people are pointing it out and blaming ego for acting out, like out of box, that's still a person having yet to learn how to hold themselves accountable for everything that they do have experienced. Even your perception of an experience, hold yourself accountable for that. When you get down and break it down to the root of why you even perceive something to be in the first place. I shared it in my other video, and that might be uploading still. I don't even know. Like, I have no sense of time, and I tell you, once videos start taking forever to upload, by the time it uploads, I've already forgot what I've had so much already life experience in between from one video to the next that I'm like, what was I talking about this? Because I don't even remember. And sometimes I get like little snapshots in my own, like, you know, brain or whatever, in my own placements that will give me like a little, just like a little piece of, like, I'm like, oh, okay, it was something about that, if I didn't get to fill in the description box like when I was trying to upload the video, because I'm always busy. You know, people are like, where do you get time to do everything? It's because I want to do everything, and I do give myself the time to rest too. But like I tell people, before I used to always want to help, and I got drained. Meanwhile, here I am, loving the vampirism effect of my own immortality, but getting sucked dry, as if though I'm not a vampire. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how can that be? Like, and that was just, you know, that's just glamour. You know, you think about the glamour of the vampirism in Hollywood that creates some leveling of resonating within our being, and then due to our society of conditioning and imagery and society's way of like dictating and judging and saying what's acceptable and what's not, you know, creating the dark side of it to be highlighted, the shadow, which is the parts that no freaking human or mundane wants to admit to resonating with. So it becomes sci-fi, and yet people love sci-fi. You know, like, live symbolic. Everything is symbolic of something deeper within you, and most of the mundanes on this in this world are so superficial, and I don't mean to say it in a rude kind of way, like I don't have time for them, but prior to my own constant evolutionary, revolutionary awakening that never freaking stops. This is infinite and infinite, for as infinite as I can be. This expansiveness within my own galaxies. Ooh, this, I get dizzy. I really do. I get dizzy off of talking. I get dizzy off of breathing. I get dizzy off of feeling. I get dizzy off of dancing. And when I talk about dizzy, it's like a high. I don't want 20 friendly, but okay. Even that I wouldn't have wanted to admit, because I got an image to uphold. What image? Spirit got me good the other day. I caught myself with this bitter stain beginning to cycle, like, beneath the carpet too, because that sucker was going by, like, I was like trying to like let it pass, but Spirit like one quick swift kick up the ass, and it was just like child, look. And I was just like, whoa. Okay. Well, yes, man. I'm eating this one. I'm saying this one, and then because I allowed for the educational system that exists naturally within each and every one of us open up to it. Jiminy Cricket was just not in a cartoon. You got a conscious in there, boo. There is something you are listening to. There is something that is listening to you. There is something that, you know, when you speak and then you hear yourself, who's listening? When you feel yourself, what's happening? When your mind don't shut up, who's talking? Learning to decipher and discern. Boss, you're a jerker. Yeah. Shake it off. I'm getting a new car. Woo! Okay. I also discovered something that was irritating, this cough that's purging from me, you know, with this throat and heart chakra cleanse with all these like drinks that I was drinking to like purge the succubus energies, like, you know, from this vortex, and contribute to the alchemy of mastery that I contribute to this collective whole that I'm living bold. It's like great. You know, but what was I saying? Sometimes that happens too. I remember, like, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even freaking matter. I was just gonna go back in memory lane of a memory that doesn't even need to be entertained at this moment in time, because those people are not even in my life anymore. People that I would have never imagined not having a future with, because due to my conditioning, I built on the illusion of quality of friendships that I was giving, and was only mimicked back to me, because that is the example us Transformers set. But it doesn't always mean that although people might practice what they see and feel inspired by you and motivated by you, it doesn't mean that they do as much as you, or that the turnout is going to be the same. I remember when I lost my best friend a few years back. This chick I did not imagine life without. Over 20 years of friendship. We never got into a fight. She was a Sagittarius like me. We called each other soul sisters. Before I really get into the groove of soul sisters, and please bear in mind that there is no way that, even though it ended the way that it did, and not nicely at all, in no way, shape, or form do I regret or wish bad or speak even bad of she, who I have so many beautiful memories, although I don't travel back into that memory lane. But I'm just saying, like, there's no animosity I hold towards her at this time. I traveled. This has been how many years now that she and I have not been friends? I have no concept of time. It could be like going on 4 years now. So remember, we have a over 20-year friendship. Okay? That was one of my cleanest. And when I mean by cleanest, meaning we didn't have no issues. None. Right? When my whole arsenal of life support got wiped out, when I lost people in my life that, again, I thought I would never be without, she was still there. That it was even acknowledged. There was one time right before our tower moment that we were sitting in her car, and we were just 420 friendly and just talking about stuff like this, like evolution, revolution, energy, and all this stuff. And because that is how we related on a lot of this esoteric, mystical. She was a little bit more on the religious side and sticking to that Jesus and, you know, conditioned upbringing, and not letting that go just in case, you know, because then you go to hell. Listen, I was raised Catholic. I did, and I converted into Christianity too. I have been a catechist teacher. I have been a Christian teacher to children too. I have years of experience teaching kids. When I did everything for, I had to go to, you know, CCD classes, is what they call them. So it's catechism school, and doing my communion, confirmation, and all of that. I had had to do all of that and pick, you know, internships and do all this kind of stuff. And oh, look, I scratched myself and I made myself red. I loved it because I was in the education system and they loved me. So, like, even when I was done, I stayed a part of their congregation and took extra catechism teaching courses. I was teaching for years in the weekends Sunday schools to kindergarteners. I was like a teacher's assistant, started out like that, and then, you know, like whatever, and it progressed. And then years later too, like when I started going to this church that I connected with, it was a Christian church. I took their courses, I took their Bible study classes, I became a part of their congregation. Like, you know, I did all of that. Okay, I'm not even in college, I studied the history of religion because it fascinates me. Before I purged my first library of books, which I cried over because it was over 500 books, and I just had to let go of materialism, and that was just one of the things that I was going through years ago. I've started my book collection again, so I'm nowhere near where I was when I purged all my treasures. It's my goal is to have my master library, because I'm Belle from Beauty and the Beast, okay? We're waiting for my beast though, because there's been a lot of false prophets. But anyways, what was I gonna say? This is turning into a long babble, but anyways, what was I saying? Don't do drugs. But anyways, oh, this friendship of mine, right? So, even when other tower moments I hit, she was still there, rock bottom solid, but it was still false. You see, the thing that you get to do after detaching emotionally and stuff, when you want to learn something and grow from something, instead of attacking something or getting all defensive or victim mode mentality, like, you start seeing it for what it is. One of my gifts that I'm able to do like this is third party observe. And that means, cute little me, when I get into my meditative kind of think, I just silence within me and I replay everything of a moment in every kind of way. And in my mind goes this play, but I literally am outside of it. And so that's what I call third party observe. I'm trying to explain it the best way that I can. Anyways, today was one of those days that I would have huffed and puffed with spirit about sharing, because I'm like, hit record. I was listening to my own I love so many of you YouTubers, the ones that have their own like pick of cards and do the tarot for the signs, astrology ones and stuff like that. Like, I have so many that I view. I always comment. I'm always showing love to everyone because I am love. It's freaking stamped on my shoulder. Like, that's not no freaking like show. I am love. Lady Guinevere. Okay? I am love. I've already created wars. Now it's time for something much more like harmonious, because this has got to stop. And fine, granted, maybe I won't in this vessel get to witness the full flourish of what is to come for our generations, but this here is timeless. And I will, like, I'm debating now, because I was saying that I'm done. That's what I came into this life, and even as a little girl, even without fully understanding reincarnation and stuff like that, like, I would always say, this is my last life. I'm not coming back. I'm done. I will always say that. And in traveling down this path of even understanding that bold statement that I've been saying for over 30 years. The other day I got checked on that too, because you know how they say never say never, or you know, whatever and stuff like that. So never say never, because we never know anything. Never, to say never to something, let's just look at it with an expansive view. Not that I'm saying that that's like flakiness, or like I don't like caramel and tomorrow I like caramel. I'm giving poor examples. I'm trying to like give this example here. Like, I don't want to lose it. And no, hold on, because there's a lot of traffic and there's so many things going on at so many different levels. But I don't want to lose shit, and I want this to upload. So it's already at 31 minutes. Okay, let's hurry up here. Okay, like, discernment is the art of learning for you what you in this vessel like and don't like. It's discernment is not designed or meant to judge whatever it's discerning. Discernment is to identify what is for you and what is not for you. Okay? Because what's for you and what's not for you doesn't necessarily apply to everyone either. So that's what discernment is. So you can say, based off of life experiences and learning, that I don't like chocolate, I don't like vanilla, and say I will never eat that, and be so strong with that bold statement, because you know that you don't like it, and so you will never have it. Those are things. Those are external things that have been created in this world that is subjective and is subjective to everyone. Okay? Stay with me. I am sorry. If you're still here with me, oh my God, you're awesome and you are deep. Like, have a conversation with me. Seriously, if we don't already speak. Maybe we do already speak, but hey, you know, thank you to all of you that do show me so much love and encouragement and support. And to all the new subscribers, to every one of you who have already subscribed, and to those of you that are just tuning in and, you know, whatever. And, you know, I hope that, never mind, I don't hope. That's a state of expectancy that I don't want to carry with me into no next lifetime, okay? I don't hope nothing. I know that seeds grow. And whatever these alchemized seeds that come from me, from my vessel, my being, I know that they are pollinating, they are growing, they're expanding, they're seeding in whichever shape, form that they are going to grow. And this I know. Everything else I let go. You know? It's hard to let go and surrender to that control. Trust me. I'm still meeting with the controller in me. It's true. I didn't realize that I was a very controlling person. You know? And I didn't embrace the neurotic in me either. I don't know. But yeah, so never in Live Symbolic, like the way that I said, I'm never coming back since I was small. think about the old soul, the ancient, the original soul in me that I had my blinders off to, that was speaking or living through me symbolically, frustrated maybe with this journey, because we're constantly evolving, that was just being rebellious in spirit from young. Because if I was to look at it, shoot, it is frustrating. I'd be tired. I was like, okay, you know? Alright, I'm gonna end this here. I know I left a lot of things probably hanging. Go. If there's anything that I missed, sorry, but you wait your turn. That I didn't finish or elaborate on, that you would like some more clarity, or for me to further explore or do another video about. If this is, I know that this is not, I didn't even pull any cards or anything like that, but you don't need freaking cards to know. Okay, I use the cards because they help settle the filter, the open portal that exists within me, that channels so deep that I receive so many things. So the cards assist in allowing for some kind of like structure to take place, because me, I'm all over the place. And that's that. So thank you for tuning in with the Enchantress. That is me, the Babbler. That is me on this evolutionary high of an uprise at this time. I know that I started this video with, I was going to probably share something. I don't know when I'm going to be able to play this back to even learn what it was that I was going to share to begin with. I don't even know. I have so much to do because, you know, I literally, like, I love it. And so we do what we want. That's why yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna do it too. 37:27. Namaste. Oh my.